packed show today on Husky Mag, and welcome into the show. I'm Alexis Pearson alongside Jeremy Lagos. Jeremy, it is finally tournament time.
Alexis, whether it's basketball or hockey, it's do or die times for teams around the area. And first, we start on the hardwood. The Dragons beat the Mavericks and will now take on the Vikings in the NSIC championship game. Jordan Reward leads his Moorhead squad with 16.9 points per game average, while Augustana counters with Daniel Jansen's 19.7 points per game. Both teams are looking for their first NSIC championship title.
Minnesota State advances in the playoffs after defeating St. Cloud State last weekend. Stone and Poydras put up 19 and 17 points respectively, but it wasn't enough to top the scoring of Marai and Busak, who scored 21 and 20 points respectively. Alcantara gets 9 rebounds for the Huskies, while the top rebounder for the Mavericks was Marai with 13 rebounds. The Huskies kept it close in the first half, going into halftime only down by 6, but Minnesota State would expand their lead in the second half to win 96-74.
Taking a look at the NSIC women's basketball bracket, SCSU makes it to the second round of the playoffs but falls to Wayne State by a final of 76-63. The Huskies finished their year 16-12 overall. Wayne State advances to the finals, taking on Northern State. Northern State would go on to win. SCSU beat Northern State twice this season, something that they can carry on with them next season for some confidence.
SCSU with a season-ending loss, falling to Wayne State 76-73. Chelsea Nooker leading the team in this game with 16 points, ending the season ranked second on the team for points with 327, right behind Lexi Peterman, who also put up on the board for the Huskies with 13 points, finishing off the season with 354 points.
Jordan Spencer leading her team in this game with an impressive 23 points. Yossi Murrin and Niggling following suit with 12 points each. Almost identical halves as we break down the game. 32 and 31 points for SCSU in the first and second halves respectively. Wayne State scoring 38 points in both halves to top SCSU in this one. With us is Daniel Papp, our KVSC basketball analyst. Now Dan, SCSU had a lead early against the Wildcats, but what was the biggest factor that had the lead slip away in this one?
Well, it's very easy to determine. Free throws was unquestionably the difference. The Huskies were outscored by 14 points from the charity stripe alone, and keep in mind, they only lost by 13. They did well in a few areas. They hung in against the Wildcats in the rebounding department and actually outscored them 15-7 in second chance points, but allowing 27 of 34 shooting from the line was just too much to overcome, especially when you consider the fact that Wayne State hit 15 of 17 from the charity stripe in half number 2.
Now, women's hoops started strong this year. They were nationally ranked, had a record-breaking performance, but what happened down the stretch?
Well, they lost some of their edge defensively and on the boards as well. As the year went on, the Huskies were out-rebounded by a wider margin. They forced fewer turnovers on the defensive end and committed more themselves. And on top of that, they saw their points off of turnovers drop significantly. And oh, by the way, they allowed just 2 teams to shoot 40% or better on them in the first 8 games of the year, but only allowed 3 teams to shoot under 40% against us for the rest of the season. In a nutshell, that's why the Huskies faltered down the stretch. Their defense and rebounding weren't as strong by the end of the year.
Shifting to men's now, like the women's team started strong against a higher ranked team, but their Achilles heel was pretty simple, wasn't it?
You bet it was. We couldn't hit a shot. It was as simple as that. Forget being outscored in the paint 46-20. Forget being out-rebounded 45-31. When you shoot 32% and a half and just 2 of 16 from downtown, you aren't going to win many games, especially when the other team is hitting over half their shots.
Now, after legendary head coach Kevin Schlegel retired, Matt Reimer stepped in this year. How did the Huskies do in year 1 of the Reimer era?
Well, they started off a little slow, but they finished very strong, winning 8 of the last 11 games to gain the 3rd seed in the North Division. They beat Southwest Minnesota State University in the first round of the tournament, and Jordan Poydras was, of course, named to the All-NSIC first team after leading the team in points, assists, and steals. I'd say, overall, it was a pretty successful season, and I loved how Coach Reimer looked in his first year on the bench, both on the court and in the recruiting role, perhaps even more. And with players like Poydras and Scotty Stone coming back for the next season, things are looking bright for this program.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Skates hitting the ice now as SSU takes on UND in Grand Forks. Drake Kajula flying up the right wing. The puck is deflected to the corner where Stefan Patton fires a pass to Nick Schmaltz as he gets the first goal of the game for UND. End of the first, Nick Matson splits the D, waiting for the one-timer, top shelf snipe over Lindgren's right shoulder. UND goes up 2-0. Second period, bouncing puck finds the stick for Austin Paganski. Paganski not wasting any time, burying the biscuit for the basket for UND. Later in the period, Jimmy Murray cycling the puck to Prochnow to Ben Storm. The shot deflects off Patton's skate for Storm's second goal of the season, putting the Huskies on the board. In the third, Johnny Brodzinski finds Eggs Benny waiting at the back door. Bannock bangs it in for the Huskies' second goal of the game. Huskies again late in the third, pressing for the game-tying goal. Shot from the blue line. McIntyre gobbles it up, saying, "No way, Jose." 5 seconds remaining, Kali Kosalov wins the faceoff for the Huskies, but it wouldn't be enough as UND pushes on to win 3-2.
Grand Forks round 2, some nifty passing for UND leads to a goal as Brendan O'Donnell finds Connor Gardner in front of the net, and after a flurry of shots, Austin Paganski finally bangs it home to give North Dakota an early 1-0 lead. Getting a second look at this one, you can see the puck slip by Charlie Lindgren there. Second period now, pass from the blue line, finds Tucker Pullman by the side of the cage. Pullman throws it to the side of the net for the wraparound, jamming it into the open net. UND goes up 2-0. UND cycling the puck, Nick Matson gets the shot off. Lindgren screened in front by UND Stefan Patton. Lindgren not able to stop this one as UND goes up 3-0. Taking another look at this one, let's slow it down just a little bit. The puck sneaks between Ben Storm and Patton right under the left pad of Lindgren. Third period, Huskies now win the faceoff. Prow takes it all the way into the slot undefended. No one able to get in front of this one as Prow finds the back of the net. Huskies back in it 3-1. Final minute of the third, Brodzinski on the right wing gets the shot off, but McIntyre comes out shutting down Brodzinski. Huskies unable to mount a comeback, and UND sweeps SCSU with a 3-1 victory.
UND topping the Huskies yet again, even with senior Mark McMillan leaving the game due to injury after stopping a shot from Brodzinski in the first period. Getting even strength goals from Paganski and Gardner and a power play goal from Matson. McIntyre made 27 saves on 28 shots. This one puts UND in position for at least a share of the NCHC title. Big win for UND, Alexis.
Yeah, Jeremy, the Huskies were not able to come home with a win this weekend. Ethan Proud gets the lone goal for the Huskies in this game, his second goal against UND on the season, and extending his point streak to 4 games with 2 goals and 3 assists in the last 2 series. Ray Cam and Pearson there getting the assist on Proud's goal. The Huskies fared well against UND last season, sweeping UND at Elf Engelstad Arena, a rare occurrence at UND. This season, however, the Huskies struggling a bit against North Dakota, only winning 1 game in 2 series. A big reason for this is the return of goaltender Zane McIntyre, only allowing 8 goals on 115 shots against the Huskies this season. And with that, we are here now with Jeremiah Graves, SCSU's hockey analyst. Now, Jeremiah, tough weekend for the Huskies. SCSU gets outscored 6-3. All 3 goals were on the power play. Why were they struggling on 5-on-5 this weekend?
Well, they've struggled with that all season pretty much going into this series. It wasn't going to be a shock. You got the #1 penalty kill at UND going up against the #1 power play coming from SCSU. So 30%, when you think about it, it's not all that terrible going up against the most penalized team in the nation. You'd actually like to see your team get out there more than 10 power plays, have more than 10 power play opportunities if you're St. Cloud State. But a lot of the struggles came from having different people on top of the umbrella at the blue line. Ethan Proud continued to have a great streak, scoring another goal in North Dakota in the series. But if you're going to score goals, you can't score 3 against the #1 team in the nation and expect to win.
Now, Brodzinski, Huskies' leading scorer, he's been on a bit of a dry spell. He hasn't scored in 6 games. They're going to need him to start scoring here in the playoffs if they want to do anything. How do the Huskies get him going offensively?
Well, like you said, I mean, it's January 31st is the last time he scored. That's the Saturday's game where he had 4 points against CC. So it was a big night for him, but he's only had 2 points since then. So if you're not scoring, you want to be producing in other areas, and that's something we haven't seen out of Johnny Brodzinski. It's just a matter of space and time. He's doing a good job trying to get other people the puck, but if you're a Hobie Baker candidate, you want to put the puck in the back of the net as well.
Now looking at the other side of the rink for the Huskies, Charlie Lindgren has been steadily improving all season long, but he got pulled in the third period against UND in the second game. How will that affect his confidence?
Well, and if you were at the game and if you were watching it, it wasn't all Charlie Lindgren. I mean, he made number 8 on the SportsCenter's top 10. He actually played pretty well this weekend, all things considered. He's been pretty much the backup for the backbone for the SCSU Huskies this season, not knowing coming into the year who was going to be their starter and how well they were going to play. So Charlie's been more than they could ask for coming in as a sophomore and playing at top tier in the NCHC. So it shouldn't rattle his confidence. He just played the best team in the nation, and he didn't play all that badly either.
Speaking of the best team in the nation, North Dakota swept the Huskies this past weekend, eliminating them from home playoff chances. How does that make the road tougher heading into the NCAA tournament?
It was interesting. Both teams were there, and they were playing for very different reasons. Like you said earlier in the show, Penrose's share of the cup. That's really all that UND was playing for, and then SCSU was playing for a home ice advantage as well. So it's a big deal. We're 6-9 on the road this year, not exactly where you want to be going into the postseason. But you know, we're gonna see how it's gonna end up with Denver being at number 4 right now and us picking at number 6, and we're gonna get a preview of that series most likely, depending on the pairwise, coming into the postseason.
All right, thank you very much, Jeremiah.
Thanks.
The NCHC's best are ready to face off at the 2015 Frozen Face-Off, March 21st and 22nd at the Target Center in Minneapolis. The best conference in college hockey crowns a true champion this spring. 4 teams and 1 champion. Denver was able to take home the first ever Broadmoor Trophy last season. Who will take home the trophy in the conference's second year? Get your tickets now for the whole weekend series or individual games by visiting nchchockey.com.
And the ice is getting prepared for the NCHC Frozen Face-Off. The crew at the Target Center laying down the sheet for hopefully a great tournament in the spring. Coming up next, we'll take a look to see if the SCSU wrestling team sent some players to nationals.
Here at UTVS News, we are always ready for a new day.
Welcome to UTVS News tonight at 6 o'clock.
Following the lead, the action,
Bench for the extra attacker, down back, and score!
the tragedies, the unpredictability, and the stories that keep our community informed and together.
UTVS News, local news for the Granite City.
Some snow turning over to rain as we go through the day tomorrow.
Currently it's 44 degrees. The rain did start to come down again. We had a short break there.
Here at UTVS News, we are always ready for a new day.
Welcome to UTVS News tonight at 6 o'clock.
Following the lead, the action,
Bench for the extra attacker, down back, and score!
the tragedies, the unpredictability, and the stories that keep our community informed and together.
UTVS News, local news for the Granite City.
Championships are built off great teams, and great teams are built from great players. Sophomore Austin Gergens, junior Clint Poster, and freshman Larry Bomstead were all named to the 2014-2015 All-NSIC first team representing the Huskies. But the road does not end yet for a few of our Husky wrestlers. Poster will be joined by Gabe Fogarty for their 3rd straight trip to the NCAA Championship. while fellow wrestlers Gorgon, Tim Prescott, Mike Rohn, and Bomstead will all be joining them to the 2015 NCAA Division II tourney, which will be held from March 13th through the 14th.
Switching it over to baseball now, Husky baseball starting the season off strong with a 5-0 record, stampeding over their competition thus far. Leading the team is Eric Loxterkamp, leading the team in several areas, including runs scored with 4 and RBIs with 4. A slight improvement over his start for last season as he started the 2014 season with 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs. Mike Durgella also putting up impressive stats this season with 7 hits and tied for first on the team for RBIs with 4. St. Cloud native Reese Gregory the talk of the week, though, as he was named NSIC Pitcher of the Week. Gregory pitched a 1-0 victory at Harding on February 26th, allowing only 3 hits and striking out 8 batters. You can catch the series March 7th through 15th in Tuscan and Phoenix, Arizona.
Coming up next, we head to the bench at an inside look to see what it's like to watch hockey from the viewpoint of Med's hockey coach, Bob Motzko. Don't go away.
Here at UTVS News, we are always ready for a new day.
Welcome to UTVS News tonight at 6 o'clock.
Following the lead, the action,
Bench for the extra attacker, down back, and it's
the tragedies, the unpredictability, and the stories that keep our community informed and together.
UTVS News, local news for the Granite City.
Some snow, turning over to rain as we go through the day tomorrow.
Currently, it's 44 degrees. The rain did start to come down again. We had a short break there.
Here at UTVS News, we are always ready for a new day.
Welcome to UTVS News tonight at 6 o'clock.
Following the lead, the action,
bench for the extra attacker, down back, and it's
the tragedies, the unpredictability, and the stories that keep our community informed and together.
UTVS News, local news for the Granite City.
Back in January, Western Michigan came into town for a big NCHC series with the Huskies, one in which SCSU head coach Bob Motzko was mic'd up for, as we take a look at Husky hockey from the SCSU bench.
Back on January 23rd, Western Michigan traveled to the Herbrooks National Hockey Center to take on Bob Motzko and the defending NCHC champions.
Get off to a good start. A lot of talk, a lot of communication. Pressure their D, pressure their D.
Now a turnover. Here's Brooks Birch going right in. He scores! Across the line. Wrist shot, scores!
Good job, good job. Concentrate on your next 2 shifts. Put them together, string them together.
Down too early, Western Michigan made a charge in the second, something Coach Motzko needed to adjust to.
We need work on this. We can't let them get chances like that. Hey, know what you're doing. Charlie, get it out, Charlie. Do everything in your power so they don't get the puck. Hold on to it, keep it in your feet. If the puck's in that corner, just go stand right with your point so he doesn't get the puck. Don't be surprised then when it comes by you to your point. Like you go, oh, geez, come on now. If you come around the net, there's going to be a guy right on it. We're not jailbreak. We're coming the other way. You turned it over. They could have scored. They went right in on us. We're going behind the net with it. Everything. D, if we have to step down to swing a stick at a puck, we don't go down. We only go down if it's 100% we can make a play on the puck. 2-on-1 the top guy, but have the right guy because you're both left-handed. Feed it over to the guy on his forehand. Why does Bennett go down? Joey, this way. Tim, keep coming, Tim.
In the third period, St. Cloud State surged towards another NCHC victory with an onslaught of goals in the final frame. An onslaught that was capped off by senior Joe Raykamp.
Knocked over, it comes in front, and Raykamp scores!
Our new goal scorer, Joe Raykamp. There it is, our new goal scorer.
The Huskies rolled to a 7-0 victory over the Broncos that night at the Herbrooks National Hockey Center.
And coming up after the break, find out which St. Cloud hockey team will be representing Class 6A in the state tournament. Stay tuned.
Here at UTVS News, we are always ready for a new day.
Welcome to UTVS News tonight at 6 o'clock.
Following the lead, the action,
Bench for the extra attacker, down back and
the tragedies, the unpredictability, and the stories that keep our community informed and together.
UTVS News, local news for the Granite City.
Here at UTVS News, we are always ready for a new day.
Welcome to UTVS News tonight at 6 o'clock.
Following the lead, the action,
Bench for the extra attacker, down back and
the tragedies, the unpredictability, and the stories that keep our community informed and together.
UTVS News, local news for the Granite City.
Shifting gears to high school hockey now, Cathedral and Apollo hitting the ice for the Section 6A section championship. Apollo on the puck, pass to the front of the net to Noah Bissett. Bissett champs the puck into the net, squeezing it between the posts and Zach Fritz's skate blade. This puts Apollo up 1-0. Bissett with the pass to the top of the slot to Tanner Bradenbach. Bradenbach rips it towards the net. Bissett tries to bang the rebound home, but Zach Fritz shuts the door. Loose puck in front of the net, both teams trying for possession. Bissett with the clap on from the top of the circle, gobbled up by Fritz later. Senior Jason Oman with the dagger. The empty net seals the deal for Apollo as they would go on to win 4-2. Taking a look at the Class A bracket, St. Cloud's very own Apollo High School comes into the tourney as number 5 seed after a very physical battle with Cathedral last Thursday when 3 different Eagles hit the ice with injuries, including number 7 Tanner Bradenbach after he dove to block a shot and took a puck to the head.
A potential upset here in the first round to look out for is Spring Lake Park to take down the one-seeded Hermantown after Spring Lake Park outscored their opponents by a combined 31-7, including a pair of shutout victories when they took down Pine City 12-0 and Chicago Lakes 5-0 in the section final.
In battle of the top 2 seeds, Orono will take on Rocori this Thursday in the Section 5 3A final. Top seed Orono comes in flying high after a 26 victory over Zimmerman and another double-digit victory over Delano, while Rocori also comes in with a pair of double-digit victories over Big Lake and Becker. Rocori junior John Olson comes into the game as their leading scorer, averaging a crisp 16.7 points per game for the Spartans. These two teams played way back on November 28th in Monticello, where Rocori fell to Orono by a final of 55-67.
Annandale beat Cathedral in overtime this past Saturday to reach the championship game versus Maple Lake. Cathedral took Annandale all the way to overtime where they got outscored 8-4. Chase Knickerbocker dominated in all facets of the game for Annandale with his 37 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 combined steals and blocks. Future Husky Brindley Thiessen led all Cathedral players with 31 points.
Taking a look at Section 8 3A, the 1-seed Detroit Lakes will take on the 3-seed Albany for the section championship. Albany junior guard Kyle Beer led the way versus Little Falls with his 21 points in the section semis. Detroit Lakes defeated Albany later this season 61-51 back on January 8th. After the break, find out which of the plays were the best of the week in Blizzard's Best. Don't go away.
With some snow turning over to rain as we go through the day tomorrow.
Currently it's 44 degrees. The rain did start to come down again. We had a short break there.
Here at UTVS News, we are always ready for a new day.
Welcome to UTVS News tonight at 6 o'clock.
Following the lead, the action,
Bench for the extra attacker, down back, and it's
the tragedies, the unpredictability, and the stories that keep our community informed and together.
UTVS News, local news for the Granite City.
Alexis, a lot of really sweet plays that went on this week.
Yeah, there's definitely some exciting things happening last week, some more exciting things coming up this weekend, some more Husky hockey going on. But there we leave you with Blizzard's Best, and tune in next week.
Here at UTVS News, we are always ready for a new day.
Welcome to UTVS News tonight at 6 o'clock.
Following the lead, the action,
Bench for the extra attacker, down back, and it's
the tragedies, the unpredictability, and the stories that keep our community informed and together.
UTVS News, local news for the Granite City.